Welcome back. I'm your host, D Notorious Manager of the Year, with my co-host,
Mr. Unstoppable CEO. Bless up, champs.
Mr. Shameless Plug, you know.
And you listen to the RWR Live 365.com app. Well, today we have a special guest in the building hanging out. None other than the voice of all radio. The man, I believe, that's going to be doing the subtitles and the voiceovers for whenever God comes back. He'll be announcing everybody's name, I believe. Ladies and gentlemen, Chad Brillante.
Thank you. Well, I appreciate being here on the other side. It's nice. At first, I don't want to be the voice of all radio. I mean, half those people were fighting for like 3 years, man. I don't like that stuff. I'll sit in the back. I'll be back eating the popcorn in that top row, you know. And today you get those tickets for the movie theater and you have to sit in that spot. I'm in the back. eating the popcorn. So just
well, I tell you what, I
doing my
want to
thing.
vote for you. Okay, between you and Morgan Freeman for the voice whenever God returns.
Oh, I'm not touching Morgan Freeman or James Earl. No, we're not going that level. Come on now. No disrespect there. So.
Well, I tell you what, man, we've got a lot of hot topics, man. We're going to be bringing down the house tonight as we get ready to jump right into it. This week's top story. This week's top stories are sponsored by Q La La, doing the most, airing on Mondays right here on RWR Live 365.com. Let's start off with Charles Oakley. Charles Oakley has been saying that Michael Jordan stopped a lot of players from winning championships. I know he stopped the Knicks. He made Charles Barkley go west. Karl Malone took him. They could never get it together. In his recent book, Charles Oakley recently stated that Jordan stopped everyone from winning the ring. And that a lot of that stems from teams just couldn't get past him. Now, it's a lot coming from Charles Oakley because Scottie Pippen's been on record of saying a few things about Mike, and everybody's got something to say about the GOAT, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody's got something to say about the GOAT. But at the end of the day, he's the greatest to ever do it. 6-0. Charles Oakley, weigh in on that topic. Let's just start with Mr. Chad down there.
Well, first off, is anyone going to disagree with this topic? Because we might be here a while even after the show. Is there somebody in the room because I hear this, like, what do you got, a kid outside or something that's going to say LeBron? Because I don't want to hear that. Look, I try to fool people with the spiky hair, but I'm almost 40. You know, I'm not part of that generation, that nonsense with LeBron. He didn't even beat him in Space Jam movies, so I mean, no. I'm not gonna sit here today and say anything. To be the best in anything, and you know this from going through the ropes, because to me, I look at what you've done and with movie careers and seeing everything that you've created with all these awesome people in here, from the 850 concerts to, you know, just watching, you know, Mad Stack and everything that goes on in life here. You can't be nice to everybody. And I try to be the nice guy forever. And sometimes as you get older, you realize it just comes with time. You can try to live your life, be happy, wake up every day, say the right thing. But Michael Jordan, to be the best, there's going to be enemies. There's going to be people pulling you away. As much as, go to church, was raised in a Catholic family, as much as we all want to go to heaven, hell is real as well. And there's the other side. And you know what? When it comes to Michael Jordan, he wasn't the nicest guy. He was actually a mean SOB. But at the end of the day, when you're talking about looking at his performance on the court, he's the greatest of all time. I hate when people use the comparisons. I don't like him. I wouldn't want to invite him to Thanksgiving. Who the blank cares when it comes down to that? Because at the end of the day, we're judging him on the 38 minutes he had per game. And he was the best ever to step on the court during that time. Just like I'm the guy that would vote Barry Bonds into the Hall of Fame, even if people don't want to hear it.
Woo, that's another topic that we will jump in on. Now let's bring you back. So there's a whole show.
I'm not going out. I mean, I'm used to talking for 3 hours. I'm talking, so I'll let you have the mic. But I'm just saying.
All right. Well, he just gave us a mouthful. What's up, 12 rounds? What you got to say?
Well, I mean, I say Mike, man. He the greatest that done it. And really, you look at it, I mean, LeBron James, he didn't stop nobody. Everybody pretty much won his era, just like he won. But Mike, he stopped the ones that went up against him. The only one that I have this argument with a lot of people is Elijah Warren. That's the only man I say that would have maybe messed the Jordan era up. Even though he was retired, he would have messed the Jordan era up because Elijah Warren was the greatest on our planet as humans at that moment. But I would have loved to see Jordan go up against him. Other than that, Jordan, you can't argue that because he stopped eating my homeboy Reggie Miller. He stopped it.
Okay. I got a great point to make. I'm gonna go ahead and let B.I. in the same shameless plug. Go ahead, what you got?
Yeah, I feel like if you go strictly on the court, Jordan was the best. But just so many things came out that make me just not give him that GOAT status if it's away from basketball. Because besides not on the court, I like it, but it's like at some point he stopped trying to make people better. Like he just was just bullying people, man. And I love Jordan. That guy was just like he just was like the worst teammate ever to everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It just I don't know. I hate that, and that's why they kind of make LeBron. Because LeBron is the opposite when it comes to everything away from the basketball that Jordan believed in. Like LeBron thing is make your teammates better. Speak about stuff outside that court. Speak up for stuff that's right or wrong.
Yeah.
Jordan don't believe in none of that.
Yeah.
Or he don't act on it if he does.
Yeah.
Now, to his advantage, LeBron is at a time when social media they could have silenced Jordan by just not letting him not report on him. These days, they can't silence LeBron. When you got Instagram and social media,
Yeah.
you're going to always be able to speak what you're thinking.
Yeah.
So, in his defense, but even these days, when Jordan got the ability to speak up, he don't say nothing about it. Too much none.
Okay. Chad, like you wanted to jump in. Before I say my point, you about to jump in and say something?
I mean, I'm just gonna say that I understand where you're going with it. LeBron is. I mean, we look so much, and I hate when people go after LeBron for a comment he made or this or that. The guy, he's raised a great son. He's done it the right way. He donates. He's built an entire basketball facility for Akron. How much money he's donated for the Y. And we always nitpick at things because he sent a tweet out. When you're like, how many families out there, they don't know their dad, or they raised them where, their sons are on drugs because they never see him. And this is a guy that's raised his son. He's there at every game. He's supporting him. Does he get it over the top walking on the court in the middle of that game? Yeah, he does things like that. But let's not judge people for the little things. Let's judge for, it's a marathon, not a sprint in life. And for LeBron, what he's done over 2 decades, he should be, it should be not.
Definitely in the category.
Yeah, there's some things I don't agree with what he says, but at least he's speaking his mind, and that's something that Michael Jordan is not. But when Ja Rule one time was on the Weather Channel talking about a hurricane, I also said I really don't care what Ja Rule. I really want to get back to seeing whether or not Jim Cantori's on our beat, so we can get the hell out of there if he is. So that's sort of the. So there's part of that too where we do want to hear, but I think it also can cross the line when kids start to look at LeBron for advice on a political issue over some people that might be more educated, like a politician, and that's all I'm saying. But I get what you're saying. You want them to be vocal leaders as well. So I get that. Yeah.
Well, that leads me into this is what I wanted to get to. So say that Jordan never existed on a multiverse world. Okay, Jordan never existed. We're taking it Marvel right now. Okay, even though I'm a DC guy. Let's take
Michael B. Jordan, or
yes.
Okay.
There you go. He doesn't exist. All right. So with there being no Jordan, who dominates that era?
Kobe.
No, but you gotta go back a little bit further there because Kobe had his little era. I'm talking about like who in that era where it was Jordan, it was Reggie Miller, it was Patrick Ewing, Dominique. Just like what team, who dominates if Jordan never exists?
What's the Jazz?
I think with Jordan.
Nah, that's a good.
I think with Jordan part, he could do so many. Everybody else was good. Like Stock was good at passing, but he didn't do. He couldn't just play all 5 positions. Karl Malone is good on the board. He couldn't run point. So it's kind of, I think it'll be a collab with people,
So you don't think it'll be no dominant figure or dominant team?
I don't think, because I said Kobe, but without Jordan, Kobe might not have nobody to mimic his game out there.
Kobe was the closest thing to Jordan.
Yes.
LeBron was a mixture. LeBron, it's like comparing, I'm not going to flip over here to the Tom Brady being from Boston especially, but Tom Brady's he's not the most talented quarterback ever, and that's not even questionable.
Right.
Aaron Rodgers, guys like Patrick Mahomes, obviously have more talent, but to say he's the greatest of all time is okay. LeBron James is the most talented freak of nature. You have 6'8", 270 shot out of a cannon.
I don't know,
No.
Chad, there's a guy named Aaron Donald right now who's kind of
okay. I'm talking. Now I'm jumping back into basketball. What I'm saying is, LeBron James had athletic talent that nobody else could do. But Michael Jordan is the greatest, and it's because there's in everything in life. There's people. The best actors aren't always the richest actors. The best singers aren't always the ones that have the most money. It's the ones that push to that next level that you go out there and I think that's what you see. Michael Jordan and Tom Brady, their work ethic it was beyond. I mean, Michael did set some stuff off the court that I'm not a fan of either. And I a lot of respect. But the difference is when he stepped on that court,
yeah,
there was no giving the ball to somebody else. It was ISO Mike and get out of his way.
Basically.
And maybe Tony Kukoc would get hit in the corner and someone would say, shoot the ball. He's after he's triple team.
And
But
people knew
yeah.
when they really could do it. You knew it was
Yeah.
gonna be that.
But you had, the Pacers, you had the Knicks, you had Phoenix at that time, Utah. They were all doing their thing. So, Portland also. But in that little 8-year window, I think the Knicks would have been.
The Knicks just weren't tough enough. They was tough enough against
They
Chicago.
wasn't tough
They
enough.
wasn't tough
Jordan
enough
nigga
against
look like that.
Well, not Jordan.
Because
They beat
he
Jordan up a lot.
did.
Charles
But
Oakley
you
was.
realize when you got the name of the Pistons had just people that was just scared to play them, like straight out didn't want to even play them.
Because Rick Mahorn was the bad boy.
Oh, yeah,
right.
But then you got Dennis Rodman. They had so many bad boys.
Joe
on the team.
Dumars.
Yeah, they had.
Okay.
But like I just said
But
earlier,
it'd have been New York was it'd been a good
Yeah.
a
toss.
team the dream
Oh my God.
was the
He was
best.
a nice guy.
Okay,
The best
so
of what?
I tell you what, we got a couple more subjects we got to get you guys. This is what happened when you have Chad Valente on your show talk about sports. You just can't stop.
Notorious.